If you haven't already, then be sure to check out my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 49, Future Trunks takes on Son Goku. Dragon Ball Super Episode 50 aired this past weekend in Japan, and a lot of people were anticipating this episode, I myself included, thinking, oh man, after the cliffhanger they left us with last weekend, are they going to be able to top themselves again? Well, we're going to jump in and find out. I just want to warn people ahead of time, there will be spoiler! The joke is dead. Just like Future Bulma. I did this last week. Why do I even bother? So the episode starts where the last one left off, with Black and Goku confronting each other. And this leads to a fight that lasts for a good chunk of the episode. So before Goku and Goku Black fight, Goku Black says to Goku that it's an honor to be able to fight him inside this body. Now that's a little weird because at first, I thought this wasn't actually Goku, this was some Kaioshin trying to take the form of Goku, but now it seems like whatever this thing is, maybe it isn't like a Kaioshin, that it took over the dead body of Goku. If that's the case, that's kind of morbid. I wouldn't expect something that dark out of Dragon Ball, but then again, we also did get to see like stuff with Cell and Bardock and future Gohan, so that stuff was pretty dark. So, it's just a little surprising that Dragon Ball Super would throw like a curveball like this, like, oh yeah, this could potentially be the resurrected dead body of Goku from the future. Then again, it also feels like every piece of zombie media that's been released every fucking year. But I digress. Black and Goku fight it out for a while, and it's a pretty good fight. I mean, it's just really fun to watch visually. The animation isn't, it's good and all, but it's not as good as the animation with the fight scene for Trunks versus Black in episode 48. But the animation here is good. It's not bad, it's good. There's nothing to really complain about. The action's just really, really great. I mean, I just said that, but it just leaves you wanting more, because this fight kind of ends a little abruptly. Because remember how last week I mentioned Goku Black has a time ring? Well, it forcibly sent him back to his own time by the end of this fight. And that was such a cock tease, because we're getting to see this fight between Goku and essentially evil Goku, and we sort of get the rug pulled out from underneath us. That's a bit of a tease. But hey, at least I know for a fact we're going to be getting more of this in the future. So that's a plus. One thing that happened in this episode is that Goku Black destroyed Trunks' time machine after he, like an idiot, a stupid idiot, yelled out loud during the fight when Goku landed near Capsule Corp by the time machine. He yells out, "Oh no, watch out, the time machine," something like that. And Black Goku's like, wait, the time machine? And then right before he's forced back into his timeline, he blows it up. He blows that motherfucker to smithereens. And that pretty much crushed Trunks' hopes of going back to the future. And I keep telling you, man, Trunks just can't catch a break. Never. I don't think he ever will. Trunks will probably be one of those people that just lives with a cat all of his life because he's so miserable. It's a real shame. So yeah, like I said, most of this episode was filled with the fight between Goku and Goku Black, while the rest of it was filled with a lot of story elements that are probably going to come back to bite all these characters in the future. So remember how I said earlier on in this review that Goku Black was forced back to his own time? Well, that's because he was wearing a time ring that Whis and Beerus both point out in this episode, that only Kaioshins can get these time rings. And through the story element, like this, you could say exposition, we find out that these time rings are only able to go to the future, and then you have to be sent back to your present time. Goku Black, however, used the time ring to go to the past, and that's not allowed. I think they explained it to where Kaioshins can't really do it, but Goku Black did it, so that's a little interesting. And the reason, also, that Goku Black was able to find Trunks in the first place was because Trunks' time machine left a distortion in the timeline. So Goku Black's time ring picked that up, and he was able to follow him to the past. It's nice to have these little details explained. Not everything in a story has to be explained, but it's always cool to get the little explanations here and there. So about the fight with Goku and Goku Black. Man, these guys were going at it. I mean, obviously Goku wasn't using his full power because, you know, like Vegeta tells Trunks during the fight, Goku has a bad habit of doing that. Goku went Super Saiyan 2 and was fighting Goku Black, and they were pretty evenly matched. Unfortunately for Goku Black, though, I don't think he realizes that, you know, Goku is a god. And they even point this out later on in the episode when they're talking to Trunks, like, oh, so how strong was he compared to when you fought him? And Trunks is like, well, he was a little bit stronger. And then Vegeta and Goku are like, please, we could take this guy. It's actually pretty noticeable when Goku Black goes back to his timeline. He seems a little banged up, but he's also, I don't know, I think he might be into like those gimp suit stuff, like, you know, where he pain is pleasure to him. And there's this line when he says, like, you know, this pain will make me stronger. And Goku's just like, man, you're pretty creepy. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off at that because, yeah, that's a pretty creepy thing to say. You don't hear that every day. Let's go back to Future Trunks for a minute. Man, you really have to feel bad for this guy. Not only did he lose his mother and his, I guess, girlfriend and Mai, but he also lost the one thing he promised them. The time machine. Like, promised, you know, he promised he'd go to the past and then come back and fix everything, but without the time machine, he isn't able to do that. So, when all hope seems to be lost, it's revealed that Bulma from the present used a capsule to contain the time machine that Cell stole from Future Trunks back in the future of the past of the, oh my god, it's so confusing. So basically the time machine that Cell used to come to the past. When they found that, I guess she kept it in a capsule, and she reveals it here, so I think that's a clear signifier that Trunks is going to be able to go back to the future, and he's probably going to take Vegeta and Goku with him too, so I can't wait for when that happens. That's going to be an awesome episode, or awesome couple episodes, knowing Dragon Ball Super. And then, guess what? You heard me last week. You heard me complain about this. Guess what this episode ends with? No. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, did you guess? Oh, what do you know? It's a freaking cliffhanger. We got yet another cliffhanger. And I swear to you, I almost fell out of my seat. Because it is revealed that Future Mai is alive. And I guess it makes sense, too, because she's being heavily advertised for this saga. You know, it only makes sense to have her stay alive. So that's your cliffhanger. And for the next episode, it looks like Goku Black's going to be terrorizing the future, and, you know, Mai's going to have to try and avoid him. So I'm looking forward to that. As for this episode, how was it? It was a pretty solid episode. I especially like a music piece by, I don't know the music composer's name. I can't for the life of me think of his name. The only two people, music-wise, that come to mind when I think of Dragon Ball Z are Kenji Yamamoto and Shinsuke Kikuchi. Or is it Shinsuke Kikuchi? I don't know. So whoever knows the correct pronunciation, leave it in the comments. Just let me know. But yeah, the music by I'll call him the Battle of Gods guy, because that's where he got his Dragon Ball start. There's a piece of music when Trunks is, you know, mourning over the loss, once again, surprising, right? Mourning over the loss of his time machine. And Vegeta, you know, acts like a good dad and says, don't give up, there's going to be another way. And they play this nice little piano piece, and it's just really fitting, and it's a nice piece of music. There's also a lot of character moments that are great in here too. You know, like seeing Trunks interact with Beerus and Whis is, you know, that's really funny stuff, especially since Beerus finds Future Trunks annoying. I couldn't help but find that to be humorous, since Beerus pretty much finds everything annoying. So I just find it funny that he has to point out that Trunks is annoying. It's like, well, gee, dude, you find everything annoying. But overall, the episode was great, and I look forward to the next one. This is Gojira 2012 saying farewell for now.